Have you ever wondered why so many seemingly strong relationships end in heartbreak? Why do so many people, who once seemed so in love, suddenly find themselves at a crossroads, questioning everything? Here's a fact that might shock you: over 70% of relationships end before they ever reach the stage of true commitment. Yes, more than 7 out of 10 couples don't make it to the long haul. But the real question is, why? Why do men leave relationships that appear solid on the surface? Have you ever found yourself blindsided by a breakup, left to pick up the pieces and wonder what went wrong? Today, we're going to uncover the mystery behind this all-too-common scenario. We're diving deep into the 8 most surprising reasons why men might walk away from a relationship. These reasons are often hidden in plain sight, overlooked or misunderstood. But understanding them isn't just about preventing a breakup, it's about creating deeper, more meaningful connections. And it's not just about identifying the reasons, we'll also explore the solutions, the steps you can take to avoid these pitfalls and build a relationship that not only survives but thrives. So, if you've ever found yourself questioning why men leave, or if you're determined to strengthen your current relationship, this is the video for you. Breakups can feel like a punch to the gut, sudden, unexpected, and devastating. The emotional fallout can leave you reeling, struggling to make sense of what happened. One moment, everything seems fine, and the next, it's over. The person you thought you knew so well is suddenly gone, and you're left to navigate a wave of emotions: shock, confusion, anger, and deep sadness. But in the midst of this turmoil lies an opportunity for growth. It's in these moments of heartache that we are often forced to confront the deeper truths about ourselves and our relationships. Why do some relationships end, while others manage to weather the storm? What causes someone to leave when everything seems so perfect? Understanding the why behind a breakup is crucial, not just for closure, but for your own personal development. It's about learning from the past so you can avoid repeating the same patterns in the future. When you understand what went wrong, you can take steps to heal, to grow, and to build better, more fulfilling relationships down the line. Whether you're currently navigating the rocky waters of a breakup or reflecting on past relationships, understanding these reasons can be the key to unlocking a healthier, more resilient version of yourself. So, let's explore these 8 surprising reasons, and more importantly, what you can do about them. Let's start with one of the most overlooked reasons why men might leave a relationship: the feeling of suffocation. It's a scenario that plays out more often than you might think. What begins as a close, loving connection gradually turns into something that feels stifling, overwhelming. At the start, everything is exciting and new. You're spending a lot of time together, getting to know each other on a deep level. But over time, that closeness can start to feel like a trap. When a man feels like he's losing his sense of self, like he can't breathe without your permission, it can push him away, even if the relationship started out perfectly. This sense of suffocation can manifest in many ways: constant demands on his time, energy, or even his emotional availability. He might feel like he's no longer free to be himself, that his own needs and desires are being overshadowed by the relationship's demands. This isn't about not wanting to spend time together or being in a close relationship, it's about the balance between togetherness and individuality. When that balance tips too far in one direction, it can lead to feelings of resentment and a strong desire for escape. It's important to recognize when your partner might be feeling this way and to address it before it becomes a breaking point. This doesn't mean you need to spend less time together, but rather that you both maintain a healthy sense of self within the relationship. Encourage each other's independence, support individual interests, and ensure that both of you feel like you can breathe within the relationship. Doing so can prevent that feeling of suffocation and keep the relationship strong. Another significant reason why men might leave a relationship is unmet emotional needs. Relationships are built on a foundation of emotional connection, and when that connection starts to fray, everything else can quickly follow. Men, like everyone else, have emotional needs that, when unfulfilled, can create a sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction. This could be anything from feeling unloved, unappreciated, or even misunderstood. When a man feels that his partner isn't in tune with his emotional landscape, it can create a chasm that grows wider over time. This isn't just about the big, dramatic moments, it's about the everyday interactions that either build up or tear down a relationship. It's in those small, seemingly insignificant moments, the way you greet each other at the end of the day, the tone of your voice during a conversation, the little gestures of affection, that the emotional foundation of a relationship is either strengthened or weakened. If a man feels that these small moments aren't meeting his emotional needs, it can lead to feelings of loneliness and disconnection. Over time, this emotional distance can become too much to bear, leading him to leave the relationship in search of something more fulfilling. It's crucial to pay attention to these emotional needs, to ensure that both partners feel loved, appreciated, and understood. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect or that you'll never have conflicts, but it does mean being attuned to each other's emotional well-being and making the effort to nurture that connection on a daily basis. When both partners feel emotionally fulfilled, the relationship is much more likely to withstand the challenges that inevitably arise. A third reason men might leave a relationship is a lack of shared values or future goals. As relationships evolve, the importance of aligning on core values and long-term visions becomes increasingly clear. In the early stages of a relationship, differences in values or goals might seem insignificant, even charming. But as time goes on, differences can become a source of tension and conflict. If you're not on the same page about where your lives are headed, it can cause significant friction. For instance, if one person envisions a future filled with travel and adventure, while the other dreams of a quiet, stable life, these conflicting desires can lead to dissatisfaction and eventually, a split. Men may leave when they feel that their life goals are not being supported or respected within the relationship. It's not just about the present, but about the future that they're working towards, and if that future seems incompatible, it might lead them to reconsider the relationship altogether. This isn't something that usually happens overnight, it's a gradual realization that the path you're on might not be leading to the same destination. When that realization hits, it can create a sense of unease, even fear. The future becomes a source of anxiety rather than excitement. In such situations, it's crucial to have open and honest conversations about your values, your goals, and your vision for the future. It's important to ensure that you're both working towards a shared future that you both feel excited about. When there's alignment in values and goals, the relationship has a much stronger foundation to build upon. Communication breakdown is another critical factor that can lead to the end of a relationship. They say communication is the cornerstone of any successful relationship, and it's true. When communication starts to fail, it can unravel the entire relationship. Misunderstandings, unspoken grievances, and the inability to express feelings clearly can all contribute to a growing distance between partners. A man might feel that no matter how much he tries to express himself, his words are falling on deaf ears. This can be incredibly frustrating and may lead him to withdraw emotionally, creating a rift that's difficult to bridge. Over time, this breakdown in communication can become a major reason for him to leave, as it feels like there's no longer any meaningful connection. It's important to recognize when communication is starting to break down and to address it before it becomes a serious issue. This might mean having difficult conversations, being vulnerable, and really listening to each other's concerns. It's about making the effort to understand each other's perspectives and finding ways to communicate more effectively. When communication is strong, the relationship is much more resilient, able to weather the storms that inevitably come. Trust is yet another crucial element in a relationship, and once it's broken, it can be extremely challenging to repair. Trust issues can arise from various situations, whether it's infidelity, dishonesty, or even perceived betrayal. When trust is compromised, it creates an environment of suspicion and doubt. A man may find himself constantly questioning the relationship, wondering if he can truly rely on his partner. This constant doubt can be exhausting and emotionally draining, often leading him to walk away in search of a relationship where he feels secure and valued. Trust, once lost, can be very difficult to regain, and without it, a relationship may struggle to survive. It's important to recognize the importance of trust in a relationship and to take steps to build and maintain it. This means being honest with each other, being reliable, and being transparent. It also means addressing any issues that might lead to a breakdown in trust before they become serious problems. When trust is strong, the relationship is much more likely to thrive. Fear of commitment is another surprising yet common reason men leave relationships. Commitment can be intimidating, especially if a man feels unready or pressured into it before he's truly prepared. Even in a loving relationship, the idea of long-term commitment can bring up deep-seated fears, fears of losing freedom, fears of making the wrong choice, or even fears of failure. These anxieties can cause him to pull away, sometimes abruptly, as a way to protect himself from a perceived threat. The fear of being tied down or trapped in a long-term commitment can be overwhelming for some men, especially if they feel their autonomy or individuality is at stake. This fear often stems from past experiences, societal pressures, or even witnessing failed relationships around them. It's not that they don't care or that they don't want love, it's that the idea of commitment represents something much larger, a potential loss of self, freedom, or the fear of making a mistake that could impact the rest of their lives. When a man feels pressured into commitment before he's ready, it can trigger a fight-or-flight response. This is why some men might suddenly pull away or end a relationship that seemed to be going well. It's important to recognize the signs of commitment anxiety and to address these fears openly. Pushing for commitment too soon can backfire, leading to resistance and ultimately, the breakdown of the relationship. The key is to foster an environment where both partners feel comfortable discussing their fears and expectations without judgment. When commitment is approached with understanding and patience, it can transform from a source of anxiety into a shared goal that both partners look forward to. Another factor that might drive a man away is the feeling that the relationship has lost its spark. In the early stages of a relationship, everything feels exciting and new. There's a sense of adventure, of discovery, and of deep connection. But as time goes on, routine can set in, and the excitement that once fueled the relationship might start to fade. When a relationship becomes too predictable or monotonous, it can lead to a sense of boredom or restlessness. A man might begin to feel that the relationship is no longer fulfilling or stimulating, which can create a longing for something more. This doesn't mean that the relationship is doomed, but it does mean that both partners need to make a conscious effort to keep the spark alive. This could involve trying new activities together, surprising each other with small gestures of love, or simply making time to reconnect on a deeper level. It's about keeping the sense of adventure alive, even in the midst of daily routines. When a relationship continues to grow and evolve, it's much more likely to remain fulfilling and exciting for both partners. Lastly, unresolved personal issues can play a significant role in why men leave relationships. Sometimes, the reason a man walks away has little to do with the relationship itself and more to do with his own internal struggles. This could be anything from unresolved trauma, personal insecurities, or even mental health issues. When a man is grappling with these internal battles, it can be difficult for him to fully invest in a relationship. He might feel overwhelmed, inadequate, or even unworthy of love, leading him to withdraw or end the relationship as a way to protect both himself and his partner. It's important to recognize that everyone carries baggage, and sometimes that baggage can impact relationships in profound ways. If a man is dealing with unresolved issues, he might need time and space to work through them before he can fully commit to a relationship. This doesn't mean the relationship has to end, but it does mean that understanding and support are crucial. Encouraging open communication and seeking professional help when needed can make a significant difference. When personal issues are addressed and managed, it allows for healthier, more stable relationships to flourish. In conclusion, relationships are complex, and the reasons why men might leave can be multifaceted. From feeling suffocated to dealing with unresolved personal issues, each reason carries its own weight and significance. By understanding these reasons, you can take proactive steps to address potential issues before they become insurmountable. It's about fostering a relationship built on trust, communication, shared values, and mutual support. When both partners are committed to growing together and nurturing their connection, the relationship is much more likely to withstand the challenges that come its way. Now that we've explored these 8 surprising reasons why men might leave a relationship, it's important to reflect on your own relationship. Are there areas that could use more attention or improvement? What steps can you take to ensure that both you and your partner feel fulfilled and valued? Remember, relationships require continuous effort and commitment from both sides. By staying aware of these potential pitfalls and actively working to address them, you can build a stronger, more resilient relationship that stands the test of time. I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you experienced any of these challenges in your relationships? How did you overcome them? Your insights could be incredibly valuable to others who are going through similar situations. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to watch our next video, where we'll dive even deeper into how to build lasting, healthy relationships. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights on love, relationships, and personal growth. Your journey towards a stronger relationship starts here.